Hey guys, Dr. Mustache here, and I smell fantastic, thank you very much. I wish we had smell-o-vision so you could smell how great I smell, and your dog could really smell it. Because as we all know, dogs have a phenomenal sense of smell. But what does that mean exactly? Can dogs smell emotion? Can dogs smell fear? Dogs' sense of smell is 14 times greater than humans. It's been estimated that dogs can identify smells between 1,000 and 10,000 times better than human beings. So why do dogs' olfactory systems rock? Well, both humans and dogs have the same turbinates. Those are the spongy organs that contain the scent-detecting cells. But if you were to unfurl the surface area of a human's turbinate, it would be about the size of a postage stamp. On the other hand, dogs have turbinates that are the size of a piece of paper. Also, dogs use a larger percentage of their brain to analyze odors. It's been estimated that dogs use 40% more of their brains for decoding scents. But so far, I've only been talking about the main olfactory system. Both humans and dogs have a second process for detecting scents called the accessory olfactory system. This process starts in the roof of the mouth, where scents are gathered and then sent to the limbic system, which deals with emotional perception and response. This second system is for decoding smells, such as pheromones. Pheromones are secreted chemicals that, when smelled, trigger a social response. There are many types of pheromones, and they all trigger a different behavior, from alarm to food to sex pheromones. So, can dogs detect human fear pheromones? Well, to the surprise of many, probably not. You see, most pheromone communication can only happen between members of the same species. And for reasons of sexual reproduction, this is probably a good thing. But your dog is probably using its accessory olfactory system to decode other smells. Your sweat can change even when you're not secreting pheromones because the human body has two different types of sweat glands, eccrine glands and apocrine glands. Now, apocrine glands release a fatty sweat when the body is feeling stress, and that fatty sweat is then devoured by bacteria, which releases an odor. A study from the University of Vienna illustrates how we release different smells depending on our environment. In the study, two groups watched two separate films while wearing sweat pads under their armpits. The first group watched Candyland, a horror film, while the second group watched Loco-Rama, a film about riding a train. Afterwards, a separate group of study participants had to smell all those sweat pads. How would you like that job? And they described the sweat from the horror film watchers as stronger and more unpleasant than the sweat from the train film watchers. There are many other studies that also show that human beings sweat more when we're afraid. This is because the body is preparing us to run away from danger, and sweat will help us reduce body heat that will build up when we start to sprint. Now, this strong smell of sweat may be what dogs are detecting, or it may be the chemical adrenaline, which is released into our bloodstream when we become afraid. So the answer is yes, dogs can smell fear. People experiencing fear and other emotions give off a distinctive odor, and while it may not be smelly enough for our human noses to detect, it can be easily detected by Fido. The combination of our sweat, skin cells, the subtle smell of lunch on our breath, the traces of other bodily fluids and chemical reactions tell dogs a whole lot more about us than we realize. In fact, it's these chemical changes that allow dogs to detect cancer in people and tell when a person is about to have a stroke. These service dogs play a role in society that is as yet unmatched by artificial technology. But Nancy Deal, an equine scientist at Penn State University, has a different theory. She suggests that an animal's sense of fear is more dependent on behavioral clues than it is on olfactory signals. The subtle timbre of your voice, your stance, and your posture may be what's really giving your fear away. In fact, research has shown that only 7% of human communication is verbal. The rest is voice inflection and posture. Your dog is probably much more clued into your life than you realize. Next time your dog is innocently sitting at your feet, it's really reading your nonverbal cues, gauging your verbal inflection, and picking up on smells that give away what last you had to eat, when last you ran a mile, and whether or not you have cancer. Let's just hope he's not spreading all your secrets around at the dog park. Well, that's it for me, Dr. Mustache, and this episode of Pet Lab. I want to send a special thanks out to Ryan Kemp for his awesome video response to What's Up with Whiskers. And speaking of that video, I want to thank Pesky24 for pointing out that we forgot to mention that you can also call Whiskers the Brissy. Now, while you're here, why not go ahead and click the subscribe button below for more great pet videos from the Pet Collective, including more videos of me, Dr. Mustache, here at the Pet Lab.